Hello, everybody. Welcome to the IC Topic Chat for the 2024. Hey, it's the new year. It's a new you. This session is called Top 10 List, Why Become an Independent Consultant. We like to do this session every year. So if you've been following us for a couple of years, if this sounds familiar, it's because I did this exact same presentation, or at least a version of it, last year at the beginning of the year in 2023 and in 2022. We've been meeting since May of 2020, and what we've learned was there's a lot of topics that people want to hear over and over again because it's helpful for them to be reminded of things, or they're asking about it, or in this case, we have new folks that join our group that are becoming more interested in becoming independent consultants, and they want to learn some of these key, or what I call core topics. It's all in caps because I don't know, I'm shouting at you, I guess. I just thought it was a way to grab people's attention. Why become an independent consultant? Well, we're going to go into that. I'm going to give you a bunch of ideas, some thoughts, some data that we've pulled from some of the surveys over the years. At the end of the day, I'm going to just skip to the chase. The opportunity to become an independent consultant, at least for me, was an opportunity to kind of live out my dreams, live out my vision, my values, to create an opportunity for me to be kind of healthy and sustainable in my own personal way. It was my own adventure for my own self. It became self-supportive for me in place of a more real job where I worked at a university. And then it grew. And today I'm at 15 staff, including myself. Those are 11 full-time staff, and then a mixture of part-time and subcontractors for the other 4. My partner in life is also my partner in business, and she attends a lot of these sessions as well. And she joined the firm officially last year. She's always been an owner, but kind of a mostly silent owner. Allowed me to go off and do my crazy business, but she's taken on a greater responsibility, not just a greater, a huge responsibility with the firm, and it's been amazing to see that happen. And so I'm living out my own personal dreams, and I think that this is the sort of thing that could be your version for you. I think there's a lot of opportunity out there, no matter which way you go in life, whether you decide to become a faculty member or work for a research center or become an independent consultant or anything you do. Life is going to be hard, and I think that's just a reality. Why not be hard in a way that's meaningful to you, that's living out your own personal dreams where you have some level of control over what you intend to do? And that's kind of something that's been inspiring for me and my thoughts. So let's jump into it. So in 2015, I did a survey for the independent consulting when I independent consulting TIG. And here's a kind of a reflection on who those people are who were in the first 4 years. I just looked at the data from 2022, and this is pretty reflective. It's a little bit different, but overwhelmingly our new consultants who are in the evaluation sector, who start new consulting practices that are 100% focused on it, are overwhelmingly women. That probably shouldn't be a surprise to you. You can probably look around at the group today and see that this is fairly consistent. About half have PhDs. I just looked at that. These numbers, it was 88% women in 2022 and about 50% PhDs. That's an important piece because if you don't have one, don't worry, because you're not alone. It's not like it's 90% PhDs. This is about 50-50 here. And the age group is somewhere between 33 and 55 years old. So certainly started a career, got some basic skills, and now you're ready to make that next step. That's where a lot of people find themselves. So when those people were asked, again from the 2015 survey, why do you consult? Why did you choose this path? They liked it because of the independence. I'll let you read the quote on your own. They like it because of the flexibility. They could pursue the work that inspired them, working with the clients that they wanted to work with. And because I felt like this was a better opportunity to make more money. Certainly the independence and the money are oftentimes connected. The independence to go after those projects, it can be a little bit scary. So here's the things that people get worried about. And I'm sure if you're in your first couple of years, you have these thoughts. I will tell you, these thoughts, these worries never really go away. You just kind of grow a thicker skin around them. So you have uncertainty, but on the other end, you worry about having too much work, not enough balance. I can't take on more work because I'm a one-person shop, but I don't have enough people. I don't have enough work to hire another person. And that's certainly a whole topic that we talk about, is when to hire and how to hire, those sorts of things. I worry about having the marketing and the soft skills. We have an entire core topic on marketing. It's been done by several different people. I think that the big piece about marketing, just to kind of jump to that real quick, if you're just starting out, you're worried about marketing, it's not about sales. If you try and be a salesy person, you're not going to be successful. In fact, the best people at marketing and soft skills are oftentimes the introverts, because they listen and they pay attention and they reflect better on the needs. Last September, I did a session on revenue and fees. Here's a citation from that. This is an important graphic for me. It was an important graphic when I looked at the 2015, and it was an important 2015 survey. It was also an important graphic when I was looking at the 2000 survey, because in that 0 to 4 years, when you're first starting out, what is it that most people are making? So this is a median revenue. So most people in their first 5 years, 0 to 4, are making 83,000 gross revenue per year. And then you can see this gets better. So what's happening here is you're figuring it out. You're getting over the hump. You've determined how to bill, you've determined how to find clients, how to connect with people, you have a better understanding of your own time and your ability to get things done in a certain amount of time. And with that comes capacity, with that comes competence, and ultimately it means the ability to generate greater revenue. So these are people in their first 4 years who are in their second 5 years, 5 to 9, in their third, fourth, and fifth, and then 20 plus anyway. So you can see this is just one person shops. When you look at the percentile gross revenue by years, there's that same number. This is also important because you can see that people who are in their first 5 years, their 25th percentile is about 30,000 and the 75th percentile is about 145,000. So you can generally expect to be in that neighborhood. People below the 25th percentile or above the 75th percentile are often outliers. There's certainly somebody in their first 5 years who's made $1 million. I wouldn't expect to be that person. It'd be certainly nice. There's always a special circumstance to those. And you can see it goes up and kind of stays about that level. And these are, again, individual one-person operations. All right, here's my top 10 list. This is repeated from years and years. I keep saying this, and I do this often, but I don't know that these have necessarily changed. I changed a couple of graphics, but that's about it. The number 10 reason to become an independent consultant and step away from that thing you were doing and maybe fully invest and go 100%, drop the day job and make independent consulting your main deal is number 10, to be your own boss. This is Maxwell Smart, my dog. Our dog, and he's awful cute. It's the opportunity to give direction to your own life, to take control of your work, and really connect with people in the way that makes the most sense for you. You're going to think this doesn't make sense, but this does make sense. Number 9, to perhaps work less. Some of us have special circumstances. I talked about it with a lot of my peers recently. I have a mom who has a lot of medical issues, and I need flexibility and I need to be able to work less sometimes. So tomorrow morning, I'm spending the entire day going to Barnes Hospital in St. Louis to help my mother with her condition. And so I sometimes need to take just half days off. And so this has afforded me that opportunity. Perhaps it's to work where you want. This is my father. He passed away in 2021, so 3 years ago. And I took off, same kind of a situation, and I flew to Mexico. And in fact, if you were involved with us back then, I was doing IC Topic Chats from Mexico. which was kind of crazy because the internet was really terrible, but it worked out pretty well. But if you want to work from Spain, and we have examples of people in our TIG who've done that, Tamara Hamai had she has a consulting practice. She's based in California again, but she was based in Spain for like 3 years, and that worked out for her. She had employees and everything. So might be more complicated, but if that's what you want to do and that's where you want to work, you can do that. I actually already talked about working when you want. This is my daughter, Madeline, and her friend Kara. This is a couple years old. She's in 8th grade now. This is when she was in 4th grade, but I would go down the street, be able to leave and walk down the street and go eat lunch with her. And so that was the flexibility that came along with being an independent consultant. And I treasured that time with her, and it'll be time that I had that you don't have if you have to work on somebody else's schedule in another town that's an hour drive or something like that. My commute to work right now is about 5 minutes. I'm 2 miles from home right now. And at the time when my daughter went to this school, it was down the block. I just walk from my office down the block and go eat lunch and walk right back. I didn't have to drive or anything. There's the opportunity to make more money. If that's something that's important to you, this is a trophy that I actually have in my background here. I completed a marathon in each of the 50 states. And as you can imagine, traveling to all 50 states over a period of 21 years and registering for races and getting hotels and flights and rental cars was very expensive. And so that kind of crazy adventure, I've closed the door on that, but that crazy adventure was afforded by the kind of some of the extra funds I was making through the consulting firm. I like to talk about, every once in a while I'll make a stupid expenditure, and my wife will say, what are you thinking? I'm like, well, I'm not going to Wyoming this weekend. So think about how much money I'm saving us. But anyway, number 5, you may want to think about starting an independent consulting practice because you want to identify and live by your principles. And this is our mission and our vision for Goshen Consulting. We recently redid this as a firm, as in cooperation with my business and life partner. And that was an awesome experience to do that with her and with our staff, because it was originally just mine. Another number 4, how about learning new skills? You can provide for yourself to do these sorts of things like the Summer Evaluation Institute, getting involved with obviously AEA, any of the professional associations that are local to you. Like for me, St. Louis, the Evaluation Association of St. Louis. There wasn't an association in St. Louis. So what did I do? I gathered my friends and colleagues who were in the program evaluation space, and we formed an association. So we did that. I became involved with Chicagoland, and I've been involved with AERA and the Association for Institutional Research in Indiana. I think I'm a member of Colorado right now. I can't keep track. I know Nikki Bowman's on right now. She's probably got more memberships than I do. So the other reason is to create hi Nikki, to create job security. So here's some clients that you're seeing coming up right now. These are people that have been our clients, and one thing led to another, and those were actually kind of in order. We have a bunch more now. This is about 2 years old. What's important here is each of these clients, there's a bunch of logos here, are separate contracts. And if any of these contracts go away, one goes away, I still have all the rest of them. And that's job security for me and job security for everybody in our staff right now. And that's why you have job security, because you spread the risk. So people think it's so risky to start your own consulting practice. Well, I would say it's riskier to work for one employer who could get rid of you because who knows why. And there's a lot of uncertainty in the job market. There continues to be. Right now, perhaps it's less because I just heard that the unemployment rate is very low, and I think that's wonderful. But why wouldn't you want to spread the risk out across all these different clients? And I know it's hard to get clients. It takes a while to figure these things out. But once you get over the hump you figure these things out, you have greater job security. Because I did have a client who wasn't happy with my evaluation reports because I told them what they didn't want to hear. And they decided they didn't want to renew my contract. And that kind of stung. And I felt a little upset about it. It was worth $8,000 a year, which to me at the time felt like a lot of money. But it was only 8,000 when I had, revenue much in excess of that. And so I could cut that out. And actually, in many ways, I think I probably made money by not having that contract because I could better focus on other projects that have turned out to be really successful. All right. And then number two, it's an opportunity to contribute to organizations that feed your soul. So here's 4 nonprofits that I've been involved with. And finally, it's the opportunity to succeed. STEM Camp is a nonprofit we started under the Goshen name. And here's some things that we've been able to do. This is from our 2021 year. But if any of you guys know me very well, I always have a half at the end of all of my lists, which is also you have the opportunity to fail. And I think this is a good quote here. Because we only learn when we fail. So I'm going to stop the session and stop the recording in just a second and open this back up for chat. And I guess I want to ask the question, what would be on your top 10 list? Why? And I'd like to hear from some of our consultants who've been around for a while, why they are happy that they went in this route. What are some things that didn't work out? What are some things that you've learned? What are some failures? But also an opportunity for any of our new people to ask those questions, perhaps talk through some of those anxieties that maybe I shared earlier on in those quotes. Before I go, here's some sessions that are coming up. We did just make some edits to January 11th and January 18th. Bernita Perkins is going to talk about preventative business health for independent professionals. Obviously, today is January 4th. January 18th, we're going to hear Susan talk about successes from 2023 and goals for this year. And you see the other sessions that are set up for now. Anyway, with that, I'm going to stop the recording if I can find all the buttons, and then we'll go into the whole next session, which is chatting. So all the YouTube people, have a great day. For all those who are here live, stick around.